This is the Sixth Man Show, an Orlando Magic podcast, with your hosts, Luke Sylvia and Jonathan Osborne, covering all things Magic basketball. By fans, for fans. Go Magic.
What's going on, Orlando Magic fans? Producer Kevin here, and today's episode is just a little bit different, and so I kind of want to set the scene for you. But before I do, actually, the first 15 or 20 minutes or so of this episode probably isn't the best listening content. It's probably best suited for YouTube, so if you're listening on a podcast platform, I definitely recommend you go check it out on YouTube first and then listen to the rest of the episode. But let me set the scene for you. So we get done with Media Day at the Advent Health Training Center. It was a great day. And then we were going to go record our Media Day recap podcast episode. And we were going to do it live in person on location at the HQ of one of our new partners for this season, Rockham. Now, you're going to hear all about Rockham later in the episode and, of course, over the entire 2023-24 season. They're awesome. They're a great company. A bunch of Magic fans work there, and we're really pumped to have them as a partner. So we're going to go to their headquarters and record our Media Day recap episode. So we get there, we get all our gear set up, we're getting ready to record, and the awesome folks at Rockham said, hey, actually, we got a little surprise for you. Except the surprise wasn't little at all. In fact, it was kind of a tall surprise. But I'll just let the footage tell the rest of the story. So this is what happened. Recording there.
Is it set to video?
What?
Is it set to video?
Yeah, the
okay.
camcorder thing.
Man, what are y'all doing here, man?
What in the world?
What is going on? Wait,
What is going on?
I heard y'all supposed to be doing a six-man.
Yeah. What's going on? Bo Outlaw. Holy crap, what is going on? We just saw this man at Media Day.
No, y'all. Come on, man. What's going on? Like, do y'all know what y'all doing there?
Well, I'm really at a loss for words right now.
You cannot. You literally just saw me.
I saw you and I was like, oh yeah, I'll be seeing you around. I didn't think we met
Saw him
today.
I was literally just talking to you this morning.
Yeah. Look at these socks.
Seriously?
Have you seen these? Have you seen these socks? Hey, we've got surprises all around right now. Bo Outlaw has never seen these socks here. We're here at the Rockham HQ.
I'm about to wear these in my suit.
There you go.
Well, I'm going to wear it when I come. I'm covering on
You
opening
can't
night.
wear my socks.
I'm going to wear your socks. I'm going to say, hey, Bo.
What about these?
I'm gonna wear those.
We're gonna wear these. So he rocked the jersey back in the day. I don't think they had these when you
Are
were
you kidding me?
playing.
Most definitely did not have.
But
that.
I think you're gonna have to go home with a pair of those as well. Throw on the old
So
jersey.
you're just giving me everything.
Tomorrow's
you know?
training
This is not
camp.
my size, you know. I can't wear that size.
Well, I think the guys
No,
here
I'm not
can.
definitely not wearing those.
Yeah.
We had a discussion here. No.
No, I think the guys will be able to figure something out for you with these.
Yeah, these I'm taking. I don't
There
care.
you
They
go.
for y'all promo. They're not BOMO.
Bo
I
Outlaw.
got some of these socks, but yeah, I got something that y'all don't got. Yeah,
That's right.
I don't got these right here. They ain't hit the market yet.
There you go.
I'm the official tester.
There we
Official
go. We
tester.
got
Look at
Bo
that.
Outlaw
So I
here.
got a question. What are we talking about here?
We're just going to be recapping Media Day. Obviously, we were all just there.
So you were there. I didn't see you.
Yep, I was there. Yeah, we were kind of in
What
and
time
out
did
of
you get
scrum.
there?
What time did we?
10:20.
We had breakfast
You
this
got
morning
there
at
late.
9.
Yeah, you got there
I was
late.
not late. I was not late.
At 10:20 you got there? I was done.
No. I think it was 10. 10 started at 10. I was there like 9:40.
What time did you get there?
I don't know. It's like 10.
Exactly.
On time.
On time. We were
on-
there.
on time. We were there. Shuma came out.
Yeah,
to get
because the
everything
guys
started.
didn't start till 11.
That's
Right.
Oh, I know.
I know you know.
That's awesome.
So I got a question. Mm-hmm. How long y'all been doing this podcast?
It'll be 5 years in February.
And I've never been on y'all show. What's up?
Listen, you came out to a few
I'm
watch
hearing this.
parties.
That is not answering my question.
Look, I'm going to tell
Y'all
you.
hear this? Y'all hear
I was
this?
asked.
Y'all filming this? Y'all getting this? Pick this out. Y'all can go and send these messages in. I've never been on this show. They've never asked me to be on this
You
show.
are right now. Until now. Do you
Because I
want to
just
sit down with us?
busted in and got on
That
this
is not
show.
why.
I was self-invited.
You came to a watch party, and I asked. I said, "Hey, can we talk to Bo about getting him on the show?" And they said we didn't really prep him for that, so we didn't have the opportunity.
Do I look like I'm ever prepped when you see me?
Well, usually, yes, I do think you are prepped.
When
we see you on the Valley broadcast, you're absolutely prepped.
What? I'm talking basketball.
You're just-
why
you're
do I need
just
to be prepped?
freestyling.
Why do I need to be prepped about basketball?
Probably don't need to.
I'm just throwing that out.
Probably don't
I know a
need to.
little bit about that.
Well, what are you doing right now? You want to join us for the 6-man show?
Oh, now you want me on the show. You see what I'm saying? This is how I get invited.
It's not like
after
that.
I break in.
Absolutely, it's not like that.
So what are we talking about? Go ahead, let me see.
We're going to sit down. We're going to talk about Media Day. All right.
Relax.
All right. Here we do. We're doing this
now.
now.
Right here. I'm going to stand up right here.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Go ahead.
There you go.
Oh, you're going to give me a mic.
We got the microphone.
I'm going to see what's going on
All right.
here. So what we got going on?
We good to go, Kev?
Yeah, go for
All right.
it.
Y'all been going. You know
We've
that,
been
right? You're talking
going.
about we good to
We've
go.
been going.
Kevin's been running with this.
Absolutely.
Like, I need you to relax, first of all.
Bo is just completely taking over the show here. What's going on, Orlando Magic fans? You guys are back with the six-man show. Today is October
The 2nd. It's open Media Day. You should have known that.
You're right. I should have known that. We're joined here by Bo Outlaw. We're here at the Rockham HQ.
As if y'all don't know what HQ is, that's headquarters.
It is headquarters.
It is.
We're here today to announce our sponsorship and partnership with Rockham that we're going to be working with them this year. And we had no idea that Bo Outlaw was going to be
comes
here.
through the door. The good folks at Rockham told us, hey, we got a surprise for you, but we don't want to tell you what it is. Just start going. And then before we even start going, Bo, I feel like you probably just barged in.
Pretty much.
And they didn't even give you a cue or anything.
No cue at all.
Just came in. He said, I'm done waiting.
Pretty much that's exactly how it went down. That's exactly.
I want to know where they were hiding you. Cause
have you ever been in this facility? Have you
this
walked
is the
around?
first time.
So,
they were hiding you back there?
I don't need to hide the facilities. It's a headquarters. It's not it's huge.
Huge. That's
Yes.
right. They said after we wrap, they're going to give us the full tour.
So then you understand why I could have been hiding if you walk this
understand.
facility. Like I'm small in here. So yeah.
So on this Media Day,
Let's
obviously we wanted to announce the partnership with Rockham. So if you're not familiar with Rockham, we've got a lot of their apparel just
Tons of
laid
it.
out over the table here.
Even the six-man show.
I'm gonna give y'all some insight on this because he's a little
Please
nervous.
do.
So this is how Rockham is.
I had no idea Bo Outlaw was going to be here.
Rockham was founded,
starstruck.
Yeah, they're founded by a guy from UCF back in the day, Rob, and now they started with socks. And now they have branched out into underwear, and they've been doing socks for a long time. And they were competing back in the day with, I don't want to say the other team's name, but you know.
Yeah.
Hey, man, let me do this. Y'all don't be over there telling me what not to say. See, they trying to prep me. See how that don't go? It don't work.
I see it.
Nobody
now.
preps Bo
But-
Outlaw.
No, I do get prepped, but not today. But we now they have branched out to the underwear game, and it's going pretty well. But I got some of these socks from back in the day. I've been knowing these guys from probably like 5 buildings ago. Like
Wow.
they've moved around the city like 5 times, and I've been a part of it every time, and they've been helping me out back in my AU days when I was coaching my little 6th graders. They done socked us up, and we had Rockhams all around the nation. But they're pretty good company, and I'm proud of them to see them grow like this, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
So Bo Outlaw here vouching for Rockham Socks.
Yeah.
Rockham Socks is going to be partnering every single post-game live show that we do this upcoming season that producer Kevin, for the most part, is going to be hosting. And
Kevin the man.
Kevin is the man.
Kevin's the man, that's
we
for
try
sure.
to get him on the show. I mean, he's harder than you to get
At
on the show.
least you did
here.
ask him to get on the show,
Well, listen, that is a mistake. I didn't know that. All we had to be like, hey, Bo, just come show up to Rockham and join the show, and we could have made it happen
though. Dude,
like this.
I'm just random. I just show up like
We
random
appreciate
places,
that.
and you just happen to be at the same place I'm at. So guess what? Booyah.
We're here.
Booyah.
And show them, Bo, I know we did this in a previous segment here with you, but you got the Bo Outlaw socks we handed over
No,
to
these
you.
are not the Bo. These
Up
are
here,
the special
big fella.
edition.
Those- there's the Bo
these are
right
Bo
there.
Outlaws right here.
Everybody check out the Bo Outlaw. Those are
They
exclusive.
kind of look like me, don't they?
A little bit here.
It's pretty sweet right there. Hey, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna rock them.
You're going to rock them. That's
Absolutely.
right.
So
I'm
you
going to
can
rock 'em.
find all of these online at Rockham, and a code MAGIC20 to get 20% off your order with Rockham
Oh
Socks. So
my goodness, they giving you 20% off. That's a pretty sweet deal.
how much they give you off for those?
Look out, man! Don't be up in my pocket.
I'm not
Get up
pocket
out my
watching.
pockets,
I'm not
man.
pocket watching. I'm not
What's
pocket
wrong
watching,
with
Bo.
this guy? Now go ahead, man. Y'all stop being nervous. What we gonna talk about?
We're going to talk about Media Day.
Okay, well, let's get it.
We're at Media Day today, obviously.
We're probably going an hour. You want to do this, standing up and all that?
Hey, man, I'm in shape. I work out a little bit, so I might just randomly leave too. So I randomly
fine.
showed up. I'm gonna randomly leave.
That's
Perfect.
absolutely
So
perfect.
y'all
works
go ahead.
out.
Let me see. I want to chime in on some of this. Go ahead.
Yeah. So we're here. We're also rocking the Jam Hot Chicken shirts. That's going to help sponsor our Jam of the Week segment this upcoming season as well.
What is this?
Jam Hot Chicken. Have you ever heard of Jam Hot Chicken? over there in Winter
Jam
Park?
hot chicken?
Have you
No.
ever had Nashville like hot
Oh,
style
yeah, I don't-
chicken?
no, I don't- I
You don't
can't
mess
eat
with
that. No, I
they
don't
have
eat-
they
I
have
don't eat
like
spicy chicken.
They have a non-spice version.
You know why I don't eat spicy foods? Some of y'all in this podcast where I'm finna check it out. I don't eat spicy foods because I can't enjoy it because my mouth is burning
Right.
too much. I want to taste the flavors. I don't want to be.
Well, this chicken, if
me
you're
hear this.
into hot chicken, it's absolutely fantastic. They do have like a no spice
That's what
version.
I need right there.
And a lot of our listeners already have told us it's like the best chicken sandwich that they've ever had.
Where is it at?
It's in Winter Park.
What's this called? Who?
Jam hot
Hot.
chicken.
I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna try that out.
Yeah.
You been there too? Man, why nobody
Can you
told me
vouch
about
for
this?
it? Yeah.
Why hasn't no one told? Here
We're
we go.
telling you right
I don't
now.
get invited to the podcast. I'm talking about the jam hot chicken.
Hey, well,
What's tomorrow? I might go over there tomorrow. Let me see. Jam
Yeah.
hot, where y'all at? Let me know where I need to go.
Perfect. Yeah, our guy Andrew from Jam Hot will absolutely love to have you there.
So what we got going on today about this?
Well, the last thing that we
Media
need
day.
a little housekeeping to talk about
gotta
before
get
we
some
jump
shout-outs
into
to
all the
people.
content. Our boy Gio over on at Players Closet Only. He's doing his vintage Magic pop-up shop coming up on October 11th from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. at 22 South Magnolia Avenue. So if you're into vintage fashion, if you're into vintage Orlando Magic
Are those the
fashion,
t-shirts?
especially. Yeah, have you seen him on Instagram?
Yeah, no, I seen my guy got one on today.
He's got like the nastiest collection of vintage Magic
my
stuff that
buddy,
I've
you
ever
know,
seen.
the owner of this facility got one on today.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, no,
See, it's pretty
he's been
sweet.
collecting for a few
That's
years,
crazy.
so I'll be at that. It sounds like Bo Outlaw might show up to that as well.
as long as you give him an invite, he's showing up.
He's
That's what it sounds
showing
like.
up.
No, I
Gonna
just
grab
show up
some
'cause
jam
I
hot
don't
chicken
get
from
invited or not,
Rock'em.
you're showing up.
This is
Okay.
how I feel.
There you
Depends on
go.
where I'm at that day. I might be at the golf course somewhere. Who knows where I'm gonna be?
What are you shooting these days?
A lot.
Yeah, me too. I just started playing
A
golf.
lot.
I'm in like the 120s, 130s.
Oh,
It's,
well, no,
it's not
no.
pretty.
You on your own right there. I'm
Yeah, he's not that high. No.
So
So
in the 90s.
talking about media today, obviously there's been so much anticipation leading up to this season. You can really feel the excitement around the team. You being at plenty of media days now, we always, kind of describe it. It's like the first day of school where you haven't seen everybody all off season. Now it's like seeing everybody again. Can you just describe, Bo, it's like a palpable electricity just around the building today?
It was a good vibe in there. And it's the excitement. Guys are ready to come back, and that's what you want. When you got guys anxious to get back in the gym, then that's a good start. But it's going to be like any other season. You're going to start off great. It's how well can we stay together and healthy. That's our key. If we can stay healthy, then we got a great chance. I like our team. We got a lot of good guys. You can't keep calling them young. Now they're experienced.
Right.
So, yeah, you can say you're young if you want to, but we got some experienced guys. Went overseas, played, represent our country, played well, represent Germany, won the whole thing. And guys just been in the gym, so that's what I'm ready to see. What you got?
I was going to ask you, as far as the team and the outlook of the team, we obviously haven't had you on the show till now. Mm-hmm. So I'd love to hear your outlook on the team. This is Bo Outlaw's media day.
No.
Why
I'm
not?
gonna reverse this. What's your outlook? Since because I'm the guy that's in there, feet to the ground, see those guys every other day. What do you think?
I think that they addressed a key need this offseason. You needed vet. You needed shooting. They get Joe Ingles coming in. 36th birthday today. Happy birthday, Joe Ingles. He had everybody sing him happy birthday today at Media Day.
As he should. He's the vet. That's
everybody,
how you do it. As he
everybody.
should.
And I'm not talking young players on the team singing. I'm talking reporters, the scrum. Everybody was singing
most definitely.
happy birthday to Joe Ingles.
Yeah,
So
he deserves that.
I think you addressed a key need there. You've already got a guy like Gary Harris, who's another vet, and only being 28 years old, but also providing that shooting too. And then you got Paolo, has that incredible experience with Team USA, Franz with Germany, Mo doing the same. Obviously, you get Goga with Georgia and Joe Ingles in Australia. There's a lot of good things that are coming into this season. I love that they were able to stay in that shape and game shape there. Do you think, as far as the FIBA and the international scene, do you think that helps these players and propels them for the next season? Franz getting to lead a team and now be a world champion there?
Oh, yeah. Anytime you play basketball at a high level, it helps you. Mm-hmm. So these guys went over there this summer, worked on the game, played the game. And every time you go over there and play and represent your country, you get better. But then when you go win it, your confidence goes through the roof. So these guys are walking on cloud nine right now and saying, hey, man, I know what I'm capable of. Let's go out here and do this as a team. And that's what it's about. These guys like being with each other, like being around each other. So if they can come out here and just bring that same energy, like I said, though, it's just about getting through the season. 82 games, you got to manage it. They should. And we got a deep team, so we got enough guys that we can play and rotate and keep everybody fresh. So, hey, that's all I'm saying. I like our chances. I really do.
Starting with Jeff Weltman today, every player and Coach Mosley, everybody was really asked about like the expectations. At the end of last season, exit interviews, everyone's like, next year it's sort of like playoffs or bust. What are your thoughts and expectations about like where the Magic should finish in the East this season?
So I'm like I said, I'm here. You're the fan here. So what do you tell me? What do you think? Because y'all fans, I get approached by the fans all the time.
Right.
They say, "So, but what do you think?" I'm like, "No." So what do you think?
I will be legitimately disappointed if they're not squarely in the playoff conversation towards the end of the season.
So, and I like the new system because that means we got from 7, 9, 10, 8, 7.
Yeah.
7 to 10.
Right.
You got a chance of getting there.
Right.
And I like that because that means the season, at the end of the season, the games really count. So guys are playing through the end of the season. You have, like last year, we had a chance to make the playoffs if we won every game. Like we had a legit chance to make it. We just had to win our games. The situation wasn't totally in our control, but had we won our part, we had to depend on some other teams. But we still had a chance. As bad as we were hurt last year, we still had a chance. So think about it. If we can just get our team to be on the court as a whole team, majority of the season rather than on the bench, I'm telling you, I like our chances. I like 6. I don't like saying 6, 5, 4, 3. I just like the playoffs because once you get there, the season's 0-0 anyway. So you just got to get there, and from there we work. When
you look at the other teams that are sort of going to be in that range, obviously, Miami, the swing and miss on Damian Lillard. You look at the Bulls, the Raptors, the Pacers, like some of those teams that we should be fighting for. I don't think 6 is out of the question. And if a team, Cleveland or the New York Knicks, one of those teams, not wishing injury, bad luck on anybody else, but all it takes is one injury, and you could find yourself as high as 5 or 6 in the East. I don't think that's
it don't
unrealistic.
Even take an injury. Actually, it just takes the right time, getting hot. Like it's just kind of like the NCAA tournament. The team that always win is not the best team. It's the team that start making shots at the right time. So if we can maintain through half of the season and finish strong at the end of the season, then there you go. It's just keeping yourself in position to give yourself a chance to make the playoffs, and that's all we're trying to do. Just go out there and compete every night. We got a good chance. Like I say, our competition level is very high. So if we can just have the bodies to do it, I'm telling you, I like them.
We got a chance to talk with Wendell Carter Jr. today, obviously at Media Day. Markelle Fultz comes around and is just trying to throw him off his game the whole time. So I was like, I'm going to ask a question about Markelle Fultz. I want to see Wendell talk about him with Markelle standing right there. And got a good response out of Wendell from that. He said, I'm not going to talk about Markelle. He goes on to still talk about him and provides great insight just into how important Markelle Fultz is to this team. You start the year 5-20, like we mentioned. Markelle Fultz.
5-20. And where was Markelle in?
Nowhere.
Laid up.
Right. Laid up. So then comes back and makes a huge impact on that team. You finish the last 70% of the season being on pace to be a 45-win team. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. We gave kind of our projections episode before, but as our listeners know, I had him have us 42 wins is what I had projected after going through the schedule. Jonathan, 43. Our producer, Kevin, had 42 as well, I believe. So just really high hopes for this team. And like Jeff Weltman said, the greatest strength, I hope, this year is our health, because last year it was our weakness.
As I've been saying this whole time I've been here, if we can keep our team on the court,
that's right.
I really like our chances.
Yeah.
Like you said, we got players at every position that you can say, oh, yeah, I like him. I like him, I like him, I like him. And then you got guys coming off the bench and you're going to say, oh, I like him, I like him, I like him. So that's when you got that many guys that you say you like, that means something. So therefore, now we just got to be able to put them on the court.
Right. Jamal Mosley today, when we were asking about some of the rookies and how the minutes are going to be dispersed, him and Jeff Weltman and the rookies also share, Anthony Black, Jet Howard, that they're going to have to fight for their minutes.
100%.
They're not going to be just given to them by any means, which is a good sign for the franchise. But have you had the opportunity to spend any time around those kids, and what are your thoughts on them?
I know those guys. Like, I have a relationship with both of those guys when they were younger.
Oh, wow.
So Black's stepdad, I know, I grew up with him.
Oh, dope.
So his stepdad's brother and I played together on the same AU team.
Oh, wow.
Jet, of course, everyone knows how I know Jet. His dad played in the league, so we have relationships. So I've been knowing those guys. Black, not as much, but Jet, I've been knowing Jet since little. And yes, can they help? Yes. but it's going to take them to work. This is not college. You got to earn your minutes here. So, yeah, they got some clout because they got drafted, but still, when you get drafted, there's guys that are here, but like, hey, you have to prove it to me, young fella. So they're up for the challenge, and that's going to make us that much better because they accept this challenge.
You got to talk to them at all? I know you said you have known Jet since he was little, but as far as being drafted by the Magic and any advice that you've given to him or what?
What? Do you know his dad?
Yeah.
I'm quite sure he has all the advice he gets from his dad. So his dad's
well,
pro.
listen, sometimes you don't
No,
always want to
him.
listen to your dad. Mainly, you'd like to hear it from other places too. But
those two kids, they're good kids. And yes, I do talk to them. They listen to me and they show me a lot of respect. And I'm going to talk to them through the course of the year just like I talk to them now. Hey, keep your head up. Mm-hmm. Keep working. You're gonna have letdowns. You're going to have highs. You're going to have lows. Come on, regroup. Let's get it going.
Yeah.
Bo, these not to point out Rockham again, but these boxers very, very nice. The Magic revealing these new, classic throwback edition, the Star jersey, which you wore once upon a time, part of the Heart and Hustle team. Them bringing back you, Nick Anderson, Hito, Richard for that event at the reveal. What was that like, just to sort of be around some of those guys again? And what do you think it is about the Magic organization that guys are like willing to come back?
Because of the community. When you play for this team, the community accepts you, man. If you do your part, they're going to do their part. They come in and support you and got your back, and they've been great to me. The city of Orlando's been great to me, and I'm appreciative. So every time I see somebody like that, they say, Bo, I saw you. Well, speak to me then. Did you see me? Hey, if I'm with my family eating or something, I get it. But you see me walking down the street, hey, Bo, what's up with it? I'm going to speak to you. Hey. Yeah. And it's just a welcoming environment. Like, they just say, hey, the arms are open. We're going to come and give you a hug. And I appreciate that, Orlando. That's my home.
Well, Bo, real quick, I've got a Bo Outlaw story, as I'm sure many people do.
It's not true.
I've got a story. A few years back, it's probably been 6-7 years.
She's had a few years as two, No.
It was like 6-7 years ago, probably. We go to a Magic game for my dad's birthday. We're all there as a family. We get in the elevator. You're
Who
right
pops
there.
in?
You, Bo Outlaw, there, everywhere around Amway. My dad has his phone out, and you said, "Hey, let me see your phone." He grabbed you. You get the phone from him. You take a selfie with us. I've got that picture somewhere, I'm sure, but it's the selfie of Bo Outlaw. And as you talk about the Magic community, why players, why fans are willing to embrace this team, it's because of guys like you, Bo, that are going to be incredible community ambassadors for the Magic and be able to keep people engaged, and those fun moments, the things that I'll never forget. My sister-in-law actually had a spine surgery probably 10, 15 years ago. She's got a picture with you and Nick Anderson in the hospital. You guys went and saw him. So just those type of things, man, are what keeps the city engaged. Everybody's got a Bo Outlaw story. So I wanted to share mine, but genuinely appreciate you and what you do.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Of course.
I'm just, like I said, I appreciate the fans. So much as y'all give to me, I try to give back to you guys. So thank y'all for the support. And like I said, the players, they appreciate it too. So y'all just keep coming out there, and I can see the energy that y'all have from last year, and y'all ready just as much as guys are. So this year is about to be exciting. But I'm going to let y'all do your real podcast because I'm about to go get something to eat.
Well, I'm just glad after years and years of my asking you to come on the podcast, you finally joined the podcast. Really, really appreciate it.
I'm going to be nice. I ain't going to do the mic drop. But, he did not ask me. This is my self-invite.
Well, thanks, regardless, we really, really appreciate it, Bo. It's always good to see you around. And
you got 2 mics now.
Very good.
2 mics.
We'll be looking forward to seeing you around Amway this season, Bo.
Thank you, Bo.
Big shout out to our guys at Rockham for that surprise. That was absolutely awesome.
And tell them appreciate these too.
There you go.
Bo Outlaws, baby.
Yeah. Can't wait to see you wearing those with your suit next time we see you. All right, rock 'em. Holy crap. What the hell just happened? Bo Outlaw I was like, there is no way Bo Outlaw. I was starstruck, obviously. Definitely did not expect that.
They told us there was a surprise, but we didn't expect it to be that big of a surprise.
Nothing can
quite
prepare
literally.
you for that.
Nothing. There's nothing that can prepare you for that. I didn't know what it was going to be, to be honest with you. But, wow. Yeah, Bo Outlaw comes to the door, ducking, make sure he doesn't hit the door frame. That's a big surprise right there.
Yeah, that was absolutely fantastic. So, again, I know I stuttered through that entire opening segment. But Rockham is going to be the official sponsor of all of our post-game live shows that we'll be doing this season. You can see all of this is available, at Rockham.com. Magic 20, get 20% off your purchase with Rockham. They've talked about just continuing to roll out like new product, all throughout the year. They've got these custom six-man show socks that they made for us. You cannot have those. Those are just for us. But we've got the exclusive Bo Outlaw. All of these is just really, really awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to interject here. What's up, everybody? It's producer Kevin. I just I want to say, not only do they have Orlando Magic stuff, but they also have all kinds of every sports team you can think of. Just about they got it. So college, UCF, UFFSU, NFL. Bucks, Jags, Finns, you name it. They've probably got a license for it. Even not sports, like Harry Potter.
Right.
They got some Disney
stuff.
They got
everything. They got like cartoon stuff.
Yeah. Marvel stuff, Disney stuff.
Yeah. So they've got a little bit of everything, so definitely check them out. We're super pumped to have them, as part of our family for this season. And, of course, they're a Central Florida brand. They're 15 minutes from Amway. Like, that's where we're sitting right now.
Yeah.
Right in Orlando. So it's really cool to get to partner with them this season, and I'm excited to have them with the post-game live.
And, Kevin, are you able to confirm me? It is Rockham.com.
Rockham.com.
Socks.com is what it looks like.
Oh, is it?
RockhamSocks.com.
I think you can also do Rockham.com, but we'll find out. We'll double check it.
Check that while we're recording here, Kevin, and let us know what you find there. So back to Media Day. Holy smokes, Bo Outlaw. That's amazing. I know a lot of people are going to freak. I teased that there was like a special surprise. That was not the surprise. The surprise was supposed to be that we're a
surprise for us.
We're here at Rockham, but really appreciate to the guys here. But yeah, I guess the best place to start is with Jeff Weltman today. We got the chance to ask him. Cole, Markelle Fultz, both extension eligible. Markelle as of yesterday, the 1st of October actually, and Cole's been extension eligible for the last several weeks. And we asked him, hey, was there conversations between you and their representatives? And he basically went on to say, we had conversations. That's as far as he was willing to discuss those and was comfortable discussing those, but just said both of those guys are going to be super important to the team. And, if those guys end up here, that's great. But with the new collective bargaining agreement that is going into effect this year, there's a lot of sort of moving parts, that are, they're going to have in free agency for the next summer. And then when we asked Cole and asked Markelle about the extensions, they pretty much just said, look, I'm not really going to worry about that. I'm just going to focus on being better each and every day and doing what I can for this team, and the contract will sort of take care of itself.
Yeah, as far as what we thought would be the dialogue in response to our questions about contract talks, that's pretty much what we expected.
You have to ask the question.
You do, because you never know if they're going to give maybe something more than what you would assume. But also, people, obviously, we are fans. We're doing this for fans as well. You got to ask the question just because everybody else is thinking it. And that's what we want to do, and get in there to those scrums of media and reporters, and just ask the questions that you guys genuinely have questions about, because like we said, we know what the answer is probably going to be. But if we don't ask the question and nobody does, then there's going to be, why didn't you ask about the extension? Like, it became eligible today. You know what I mean? So We've got to do those things. Jeff Weltman talks about as well. We touched on this with Bo Outlaw, but he went on to say, I hope that our greatest strength is our health, because we haven't had, that was our weakness in last year and in years prior. So good to hear that, everybody obviously going into training camp, knock on wood, is healthy and able to go. But as it stands, that is the case. And we just have super high hopes for this team going into training camp, and hope that health can be the strength.
Yeah, obviously this team is going to go as the health of the roster does. Most guys, and we've talked about, guys and sort of certain milestones that we want them to hit in terms of games played this season. But everybody, I know we're going to talk about this a little bit later, but almost every guy that we talked to today referenced Arnie Kander in one way or another, the new strength coach this season, which my understanding is that he has more of like a holistic approach. A lot of guys have talked about how he's helped them with meditation, and just sort of like the mental aspect of basketball, as well as obviously the physical work that he's been working with them this season. But that's going to be super important. And then Jamal Mosley, I think we sort of mentioned this with Bo, but he talked about these guys are just going to compete every day in practice, especially the young guys, Anthony Black, Jet Howard. And in talking with those guys, they also understand that minutes are not going to be given to them. I think Jeff Weltman, as my OCD here, I've got to fix these boxers that are in front of me. But Jeff Weltman mentioned also today that, hey, this franchise is getting to the point where guys aren't just going to be handed minutes anymore because they're a high draft pick, and that's a good thing. That's sort of where you want the roster to be, for guys to come in and really, fight for minutes. So it'll be interesting to see how everything plays out, during training camp. We're recording this on the 2nd, so we're 8 days away from the first preseason game, and if we've learned anything with Jamal Mosley, it's like, hey, it's not just the last preseason game that you need to pay attention to. You got to pay attention to the entire preseason. A couple seasons ago, Mo Bamba and Wendell Carter in the starting lineup. We thought there's no way that's going to happen in the regular season, and that was, the starting lineup for most of the season. So
they wouldn't give, obviously, again, as we expected, they wouldn't give us too much of a peek behind the curtain when it comes to the rotations, minutes, and things of that nature. Preseason is super important, obviously, for these guys and to get them ramped up for the regular season. Obviously coming off training camp at that point. But most importantly, we are going to see those rotations and those lineups and who Mosley is kind of putting guys alongside and who and testing these things. If you see something in the beginning, in the first preseason game, and then fast forward to the end of the preseason and you're still seeing whatever it is, the lineup and the continuity and maybe some same things, then you can kind of tuck that away of, he likes to play these two guys together. This might be something that we continue to see. Also, another thing as well, when it comes to rotations, preseason will be a good indicator for Jonathan Isaac too. Obviously, we will talk about Jonathan Isaac and all of to be said, what was said in media day and his availability. But that's another way that that comes into play preseason, how important it is with the rotation and who's getting minutes and who's not.
Well, I think that's a good segue into Jonathan Isaac. So obviously, the big question with Jonathan is going to be like, are you healthy? Are you good for training camp? Are you 100% back? And he said, like, basically the injury after he had surgery, after it was a 6-week injury, which when you look at the adductor tear that he had, that was sort of like best case scenario. Yeah. Sometimes it can be like usually it's like a 4 to 6 week thing. Sometimes it can be like a 8 to 12 week, injury. So that shows that maybe that tear wasn't as bad as, we initially feared, but he's back, absolutely ready to go. We asked him, hey, like, is there going to be a minutes restriction or like a games restriction? Are you not going to be able to play back-to-backs or 3 games in 4 nights, that kind of thing? And he said, I don't really know. They haven't told me. He said if it was up to him, he would have no restriction at all. Now, we shouldn't just take that at face value. A couple of off seasons ago, or maybe I think it was last off season before the season started, J.I. said, I should be back by like Christmas, and that obviously, did not happen. So, but it's good to hear that he's been back playing with the guys, sort of scrimmaging with the guys. And, we should have a healthy Jonathan Isaac to start the year, and we'll see what that looks like.
And I think the verbiage is important, too. I mean, as far as Jonathan Isaac, he went on to say it wasn't just like if it were up to me. It was from my standpoint, I don't think I'd have any restrictions, right? So he was talking about even from anybody's, in terms of not necessarily just himself, but like I would think, but it's interesting to me that they haven't had the conversations.
Yeah, we're a day before training camp. You would think if there was going to be a restriction that would have been a conversation.
But that's my point as well, right?
Yeah.
Because not only has he been back and playing at maybe full strength, but he said, his quote was, honestly, the injury was only 6 weeks. 6 weeks for the last month and a half. I've been playing with the guys, right? So we're led to believe a month and a half, like that's enough time for ramping up if you're playing with these guys, and if you're getting up and down the court, the fact that they're like that you're in these runs or whatever you're doing is important, and it's not nothing when it comes to Jonathan Isaac. With him, it's never not nothing. Any type of any word that he says about injury or Weltman or Mosley, like it's all of significance. And I don't know how this plays out for Jonathan Isaac, but I'm hoping that with the help of the team, with Arnie, as far as like a mental thing, we know that Jonathan Isaac is very mentally strong from what we've heard, and we know where he gives credit for as far as his determination and his stability through his faith. But having a guy like Arnie on board too, talking about meditation, the mental health aspect, all those sort of things. Nice to have a guy like that in their corner, and you hope that Jonathan Isaac is in fact with it. Can you imagine he comes into preseason and he's playing just as many minutes as any of the other guys?
I don't really know what I would be like. I don't know that I'm ready to comprehend that, because it has been.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going back to New Year's Day of 2020. So like we're almost 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely crazy to
From
say
the time that he hasn't had a minute restriction.
Either not been injured or had a minutes restriction. It's been almost 4 years at this point.
Yeah.
Like that. I know, like, I have this dumbfounded look on my face, but that is legitimately shocking when you put it into that context. Another guy that talked about Arnie Kander and sort of his influence on him was Jalen Suggs. We met with Jalen Suggs sort of towards the end of Media Day, and I think you and I got this vibe from him on the episode, which, shameless plug, if you haven't watched that episode, go back and watch our recent episode that we recorded with Jalen Suggs. But he just had, like, this new air of confidence, like, really seemed locked in, and he talked about, like, finding his identity outside of basketball, that like who I am is not really dependent upon my performance on the floor. Like, I'm a brother, I'm a friend, I'm a good human being. But this offseason I was also fully healthy and able to really focus in and lock in. And I got a little moment with Jalen sort of, off camera. I was walking from one station to another, and I just bumped into him and we said, "What's up?" And I said, really looking forward to seeing what you do this year. I know a lot of people are sleeping on you, but I think it's about time to wake up. He's like, "Don't I know it?" So Jalen is just like really excited, to get this season started, and just seems to be locked in.
I think it would be easy to hear his comments today and honestly chalk it up to not understanding what he's talking about to the extent of like twisting what he was saying, because the thing that he talked about was like, basketball for me now, as I shift my perspective, isn't who I am. It's just what I do. I think people could probably take that the wrong way, where they're like, "Oh, what do you mean?" Like, but as I have grown older, I have had the realization in my profession, right? When I was working in sports, and that came to a realization where I was like, man, I was putting my whole identity in what I did. My name is Luke. I work in sports. It almost became second nature to lead with that type of thing. It was a
personality trait.
It was. And obviously Jalen Suggs being an NBA player, I am
much easier to put your identity in that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Because it's what you do. Like, I was thinking about this the other day, just kind of in the personal aspect. These guys get the summer, obviously, to get and do what they want and have fun or whatever, travel the world. But once it comes to the NBA season, it's like, all right, I literally can't do anything else until the season is over. That is such a huge commitment, and I can understand why these NBA players, it becomes who they are. But it's huge and shows a sense of maturity, and also probably another credit to the guys that's heading up the director of the performance stuff, Arnie, thank you. So yeah, I mean, just really awesome to hear, and it just sounded like he was like a burden was lifted for him too, and he was like, I'm gonna be playing free. I believe is one of the quotes that he had. So super pumped for Jalen and to see what this season has for him.
Well, another guy that has talked a lot about that is Jonathan Isaac. Mm-hmm. And people ask, like, you've gone through all this stuff, how are you still upbeat? And he said it's because basketball is not my identity. It's not who I am. It's what I do.
Suggs was saying,
and Jalen Suggs was talking about that as well today, talking a lot about his faith. And like, as much as I love doing this, like, this is not my identity. Like, you and I both,
right.
We share faith similar to Jonathan Isaac and Jalen Suggs, and sort of where that piece comes from is like, this isn't who I am. Like, I am who Jesus tells me, who I am, which is a ton of things. But it was great to hear those guys share that. And obviously everybody wants to talk about basketball, but my favorite part of Media Day is always where guys kind of peel back the curtain and show you just a little bit more about the kind of person that they are. Like, we can all flip on the game on a Tuesday night and see what these guys do on the floor. But what I really live for is like what we don't see on that. And I think that's part of what has made this so much fun.
90% of Jalen Suggs' conversation today and his availability was just about the shift in mindset off the court. It wasn't about really, obviously we asked him about his things that he's improved on and all of that. But he wanted to talk about, and the questions led him to the point to talk about his shift in perspective. So super proud of Jalen, to be honest with you, just as far as that goes.
You can tell he's matured just a ton.
And it's going to unlock, his confidence even greater. I'm very interested to see how it translates when he's, coming off of a bad shot or a turnover or multiple.
He talked about the turnovers today.
Yeah.
The shift in like decision making he said has improved, and now he's just like playing totally free. And he keeps mentioning Jay Sizz. I love Jalen. I don't know what the Jay Sizz reference is. I don't know if it's like back to his AAU kind of days, but he's like, he referenced that on our podcast. Like anybody who knows about Jay Sizz, like knows it's about to be up. So just excited to see what he's going to do this year. Like it's such a big step for him. I asked, like, has there been any conversation with you around like your role? Like your rookie year, you started a lot. Last year, you came in off the bench mostly. Have they talked to you about what your role is? He's like, not really, but I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to play basketball and sort of let the rest of that kind of take care of itself. So we're going to give a quick shout to our patrons with these words brought to you by me. We'll start with Court Cousins, Drew Gooden, Armin, Carson Tulo, Jonathan Borges, Normal, Magic Player History, Gabe Gaines, Wiffle, Michael Martin, Jamel Miller, Michael Salapong, Donkey Punch Dave, Paolo and Francis Warren, Pierre A, Nostalgia and M&M's, Dylan Holden, Mr. Mikey, Eduardo Sanchez, Drummy, Danimal, Dutto 15, Bobby Skinner, PB in the Mix, Goody 93, Teddy Sylvia, Eric Lopez, Fuchsia, Juan Giraldo, Bill Fulton, Edmund Lagone, Jose Esquilin, Destined for Greatness, Caleb Pete, Cannibalism, Time, Mr. TV, ESPN Really Sucks, Gear 95, Shred, Junior Bruce, Half Reekin, Shahin 177, Bobby the Dawn, Himlo Ben Himro, RM Prov 221, Ray Pastrana, Magic Kid 714, Spanking Season, Soft Taco, Fuego Nando, Victor Cologne, Irish Magic Mike, Austin Lampy, Random Hustle, Only Franz, Maria, Keith Wallace, Fritz, Currency Kept, Bruv Sal, and our boy, the new patron, Kason Green. A big thanks to all of our patrons. Again, find us at patreon.com/The Six Man Show. So shout out to our wonderful patrons, and we want to give a quick little plug here for our voicemail line. So if you want to call and just give us your preseason thoughts or your thoughts on anything that you heard from Media Day, you can find all of these conversations that we're talking about here on OrlandoMagic.com. I know as we were heading over this way to Rockham, those interviews were starting to hit OrlandoMagic.com. But again, if you want to leave us voicemails either for after Media Day with your thoughts or during the preseason or throughout the season, you can call us at 407-603-1189 to leave us voicemails. And if we get enough of those, we can do like a special voicemail, segment on the next show that's going to be coming out on Thursday. Let's talk about Paolo Banchero, like the man that everybody was waiting for. Like,
literally.
Obviously, you have Jeff Weltman at the beginning. You got Jamal Mosley. You had Cole Anthony. You had Chuma Okeke that came out. But when Paolo walked over, like the energy just sort of shifted. Like the guy is here, and all of a sudden it's like I kind of had some shoulder room in the media scrum, and then all of a sudden it was like this as Paolo came over. Damn, that is a big dude. Like, he was massive last year, the 6'10", like 250, whatever it is. But he just somehow seems even bigger this offseason coming off of the Team USA. And I would say, like, most of the questions for Paolo really revolved around his summer with Team USA and sort of what he learned.
Yeah, he essentially just talked about, really, to summarize, FIBA and how much he enjoyed it. He was like, it's very different, but I really enjoyed it. He obviously got to experience a new role within the Team USA with Kerr having him play that small ball lineup and have him at the 5 and opting not to play Walker Kessler. So that's really all it was. But honestly, at the end of the day, man, it's just you see these guys walk in and they obviously have them coming one by one up to the stand there. And it's just like you just think about it for a second. You're like, man, I am super happy that Paolo Banchero is on this team. And I just had that feeling with like a lot. Like I thought that a lot with these guys coming up. And it's like, dude, these are just like Bo talked about with us, right? Like these guys are great dudes. Even down to like the guys we just drafted with Anthony Black and Jet Howard. This season is going to be a ton of fun. And Paolo Banchero, it starts and ends with him. And obviously Franz Wagner, you can't forget him. But Paolo being the reigning Rookie of the Year, he's gonna have a target on his back. You can't hide anymore if you're Paolo Banchero.
Yeah, he was hiding with the doubles and triple teams that he saw last year.
Well, he definitely is not getting a single break this year when it comes to the defensive scheme. I think you have to basically sell out to shut down Paolo and just have Franz and the rest of the guys beat you, which I like our odds. I like our odds in that situation, no doubt.
Yeah, Paolo, in talking about Team USA, I asked him, what did he like really learn from that, and like in terms of like being a leader, taking another step this year, and he said like just being the youngest guy, or one of the youngest guys on Team USA, like finding his voice on that team, and asked Franz sort of the same question, like, hey, like you and Paolo are really the guys leading this. The team's going to go as you do. Have they had that conversation in terms of like stepping up as leaders this year? And Franz said, yeah, like that's something that he and Paolo have talked about. I'm guessing they know that if this team is going to be good, it's going to be on their shoulders for the most part. And that being younger guys, they have to sort of find that balance between them and some of the veterans on this team, and letting them know when they see certain things or might need certain things from them. But like Franz and Paolo are the guys here, and this team is going to go as far as those guys take them. But it was really refreshing just to see both of those guys, but Paolo especially. And I asked Coach Mosley if we're going to see Paolo playing at the 5, and he mentioned, well, we did see that a little bit last year, but not nearly featured the way that we did with Team USA, and that we will see a lot of different lineups in this upcoming season. Talking about Franz, we got to talk to Franz and Mo Wagner, obviously about Germany, winning the World Cup and just what that meant to them and to their family. And it seems like that hasn't even like really like totally sunk in for those guys yet.
No, and I love that aspect. Listen, Franz had been getting asked questions, right? Obviously at this availability, you step in and you ask him about that. What's it been? What was it like with your brother and with your parents being in attendance and to win a world championship and doing so? And that is when I just felt like his eyes lit up and he got to start talking about like his family that he obviously holds in high regard.
Like most people do.
And
well, not everybody.
Not everybody. But Franz Wagner, man, just the passion that you saw.
You're not
from
talking
him.
about Teddy.
No, hey, no, not at all. Shout out Teddy, the GOAT, my mother. But just lit up talking about them, and it just seemed like a shift in his mood at that point, and awesome to hear from him. Mo Wagner as well. He talks about it. Obviously, he gets asked about it. Dan Savage leads it off with him and just basically saying, hey, I know you've probably not been asked this question 100 times today, but just talk about
Love Dan Savage.
But he, they were just Mo Wagner as well. I don't mean to move on from Franz by any means, but Mo Wagner is just so, I just feel like he's very go with the flow. Hey, whatever happens, just continue going. And that's what someone else, so it might have been Philip Rossman Reich with Orlando Magic Daily and Locked On Magic. He asked Mo Wagner, about the impact that winning that and everything. What did it have? And Mo Wagner said something to the extent of like, I don't really like we don't need to blow this out. Like it doesn't need to be blown out of proportion as far as the impact it has on my NBA game or whatever in this team and all that. So it was super interesting, but also spoke to like some dudes would be talking about how incredible it was. Mo Wagner is just very cut and dry to the point. Hey man, it is what it is. I don't want to blow it out of proportion. It's great to have done that, and now let's get to work.
Well, something that I know I talked about with you over the course of last season, like especially during the rough start, was like, yeah, we talk about Mo Wagner and his impact on the floor, but to me, like he's almost just as important to this team off the floor with just sort of like the perspective that he brings and talking throughout that like 5 and 20 start. I think there was a game earlier in the season, I believe, where they were down big, like in the first half, cut the lead, and going into halftime, he was asked, like, what's it going to take for you guys to finish this game? He said, belief and fight, and just the like calm that he brings to this team. And I asked him, like, where do you get that sense of like perspective and groundedness? And like to his credit, he's like, he had no idea what I was talking about. He's like, I appreciate you saying that, but he's like, I really don't know. It's just, this is just how I am.
Yeah.
And yeah, just both of those guys, you can tell that they had a great upbringing. Franz talking about them winning the World Cup, talking about his parents, who you could see on the broadcast if you're paying close attention. every basket, down the stretch, or every stop, in that final, their parents were just going absolutely crazy. Like I can't even imagine how proud their parents must be, like walking around, their town in Germany and like, oh, hey, that's, the Wagners, their sons brought our country a freaking world championship. So I'm sure that's just such an awesome experience for their entire family.
Do we want to shift and talk about a guy that also had some FIBA experience this past summer and has many times before, Mr. Joe Ingles?
Just the star of the show today.
Legitimately. Like at the beginning, like there wasn't enough. I just accidentally kept pushing Joe Ingles content on our Twitter today because he just kept getting brought up. Weltman had a quote that I'll pull up here pretty quickly.
They didn't want a guy like Joe Ingles. He said we wanted a guy like Joe Ingles. He said, wait a minute, let me take that back. We didn't want a guy like Joe Ingles. We wanted Joe Ingles.
Yeah, I'm not even going to say a guy like Joe. We wanted to get Joe here. So, and then Cole Anthony goes on to talk about him as well.
He's my new best friend.
Joe Ingles is my new best friend on the team. And it just felt like everybody loves Joe. And we talked about it with Bo. Again, I don't know where that segment's slotted at on the show. I have no
idea what happened.
But Joe had us sing him happy birthday, which most of us obliged to quite easily because Joe Ingles, everyone talks about his maturity, but also his comedic relief that he brings, being one of the funnier guys. We've heard that leading up to Media Day today, and we got a taste of it today with Joe Ingles. Another nonchalant, like Mo Wagner type of personality to an extent, where everything is what it is. I'm here to do my thing, help this team elevate, and also talks about, in his availability, how Orlando played into his decision really because of just like his family. He just, 36 years old, right? Was it 36, 37?
36 today.
So turns 36. He was like, I'm focusing on obviously like the best move for not just, winning a championship per se, but for me and for my family and what's best. So he decided the Orlando Magic was that option that was best. And I imagine he had some other offers, right? But Joe Ingles, it just seems like a really stand-up guy. I'm very excited to see what he can bring to the court, especially from beyond the arc and his playmaking ability, bringing in yet another guy that is tall and can play make.
Yeah, it's super special to have Joe here. A lot of guys, obviously talked about how funny he was, and he seems to have a pretty good rapport with Jet Howard already as well. I know a lot of those guys have been in town together the last several weeks, but we've been talking about this everybody all day long, everyone that you come across. Like for weeks and weeks now, we've been talking about like how special this season can be and how excited not only people within the organization are, but fans, everyone around the city. And it's easy to talk yourself into, as we do on a twice a week basis, how good, how special, and how much fun this team can be this year. But sometimes you feel like you're sort of in like an echo chamber, like, hey, just everybody's saying this so that we believe it. But when you get with everybody that's with these guys on a daily basis, sees the work that they're putting in, seeing the results that they're getting, and everybody is so excited about this upcoming season, like, if nothing else, like I'm even more excited for this season than I was like leading into today, because not everybody necessarily said, hey, we need to make the playoffs this year, but there is a raised level of expectation. And last year you fell just short of the playoffs. So if you're raising the level of expectation, what does that equal? That equals making the postseason.
Yeah, and that's got to be that's going to be the goal. Regardless of what they would explicitly say at Media Day today or not, it just seems logical. You make your 12 win jump last year from the year prior, and now you're coming into this season. A lot of these guys have chips on their shoulders. Seem that way, right? Markelle Fultz being one of them. Cole Anthony carries himself that way. I think that helps him and motivates him, and obviously Jalen and Dell. Obviously his lack of ability to stay on the court for playing for 60 plus. 65 plus games. We would love to see that from Wendell this year. But a lot of these guys have something to prove. And there is nothing more fun than a bunch of young guys who have something to prove, and which they all do.
I think that's really going to be it for Media Day. It was a great day. Obviously, without all of you following along and consuming our content, they wouldn't let us in the building. So
True.
Again, just really, really appreciative, for the opportunity today. Thanks to Rockham for having us. Thanks to Bo Outlaw. Well, again, just barging in here. That was amazing.
We walk in here, right, to this room. We don't know any of this is going to be here, first of all.
Right.
We expected maybe a small care package. They have all this laid on the table, and they're like, by the way, like, this is for y'all when you guys leave. Take it. Also, the six-man show logo, I don't know if it's in the shop fully here, but they had their graphic designer come in and do that for us, I believe, today. So, and had, by the way, these six-man show socks made for us today. It's incredible that, obviously, this is their headquarters. They have very much the capabilities to do things like this. But blows my mind as someone not in that industry.
Right.
They were just like, yeah, let's put this together today. And, shout out to these guys because we thought this was going to be the extent of it. Not even this, honestly, this much, like I said. And then Bo Outlaw, the legend himself, walks through the door. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode because I know we've had it a lot of fun today.
Absolutely. Want to give just one more shout out to the crew over at Jam Hot Chicken. Again, if you haven't tried them out, you absolutely need to. Over in Winter Park, 400 West New England Avenue. Just people have literally been telling us this is the best chicken sandwich or whatever that I've ever had. So a big shout out to them. And I'm going to leave you all with one last visual here.
I can't believe it.
I'm putting on the underwear.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
All right. He's putting it on. We'll see if he can.
These bad boys on.
I'm glad that these are stretchy.
They're durable, by the way.
They are very durable. Wow.
Right there, baby.
There we go.
That is going to do it from the Rockham HQ here. Appreciate them having us again. RockhamSocks.com, Magic 20 for 20% off. Luke, I think that's going to do it for this episode. For Jonathan Osborne, Luke Sylvia, you all have been listening to the Six Man Show, and we will catch you guys next time. See ya.
Thanks for listening to The Sixth Man Show. Be sure to subscribe on iTunes and Spotify to get new episodes downloaded directly to your phone. If you enjoyed the show, please take a minute to give us a 5-star rating and a review. It helps out the show a lot. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Sixth Man Show. We'll catch you guys next time. Go Magic!
Like that?
At what point in the episode did you decide you were going to do that?
30 minutes ago.